Okay, the next part we're gonna do is our card slot pockets. So as you can see, this is my card slot fabric, and I have the woven interfacing on the opposite side because it makes it thicker. And I'm gonna use my pattern that I created based on the instructions on the pattern directions. And I already marked my spots so I don't have to keep thinking about it every time I make this thing because I make it quite a bit. So what I do is I just make sure it's perfect on the sides. I make my marks. It doesn't even matter. I'm not even looking at my cutting board right now. And I just move it up and I do this bottom one. Hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. Okay, and then I'm going to move this one. I don't need that anymore. Measure that up to the sides. Make my mark. Well, really, I should have showed you. You don't have to mark both of these. This is another trick that Jessica is sharing with you today. You put both of these pieces together, and you're going to start with this side, the closest side to your edge. What we're going to do is we're going to fold it like that together, and then we're going to iron it. And then every other one, we're going to fold it and iron it. Okay, and I'm going to show you how that works. Okay, so now I'm going to take my pieces, and like I said, I'm going to fold it and I'm going to iron it at that first mark. Make sure both sides are perfect. This way, when you do it like this, they'll be perfect on both sides. Find your next one. Make sure it lines up with your side. And then your last one. There should be only 3 that you're gonna do like that. Okay, next part is a little difficult, but I believe in you. So now we're gonna flip it around. And what I like to do with my polka dot iron board is I see where the little mark is, and I eyeball it with my polka dot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it, and then I kind of push it down, and then I see. Is it good? It's pretty good. This side can be a little shorter. And then you're gonna iron it. Now we're doing it the opposite way. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm gonna do the same thing with right there. I'm gonna eyeball it. Well, that one was a little off, so I see that I need to put it a little forward. Should be perfect now. I'm gonna take a risk. So what's life without taking risks? Okay, I have one more. Pretty sure that was it, but I might have messed it up. Oh, yep, that was it. Beautiful. Yep, get that steam good. So here's the fun part. Whoop, take it apart. Then you're just gonna push it together, kind of like an accordion. And there you go. That's how it turns out perfect. And you can kind of give it one more really good steam. And what I do is I'll put it right there, and I'll do my other one at the same time. And I want to just make sure that they're perfect because, you know, Jessica is a perfectionist. She's got to have it perfect. I put them next to each other. And the pattern says that you can take these and top stitch on the top of each of these, and it does look good. And I've seen people use different pattern stitches to make it look even better, but honestly, I don't really like to top stitch this part, which is okay. So what I do now is I find the middle, I eyeball it. You just put a needle in, try not to hurt yourself. And then flip it together. Make sure that your card slots are facing upward. I have totally done this backwards before and it stunk. So just make sure that they're all facing upwards. And then I like to make sure that these match up too, you see? And then I'm just gonna... So now you're gonna look at your instructions and see what it says about stitching this. They want this 4.5 inches wide and then to stitch it. Mine's a little bit bigger, so you may not need to stitch it this far in, but I have to. Oh, come on, machine. There we go. And, you know, try to make it perfect if you can. So once you've done that, you can either cut this off or just leave it. Honestly, I don't think it really makes a difference. So then I look at this and you see, this is how it's supposed to look. You have card slots on this side and card slots on this side. And it looks very nice. The next step I am going to do is I'm gonna put a line, mark a line down the middle, and then I'm gonna stitch it. That part's pretty simple. Okay, so as you can see, I have my invisible ink. It's gonna go away in a couple of days, or I don't know when really. So I'm just gonna stitch down it, the middle. Alright, I still do a double stitch, or a back stitch there, double stitch. I'm making up sewing terms as I go along. You like that? And so now, let's see. I'm gonna take these guys out because I don't need unnecessary pricks on my finger. And I'm gonna, on this bottom one that you can attach all of them, include all of them in this pin right here. I'm gonna do that. Only on the bottom ones. Because I want it to be perfect, you know? There's nothing worse than having a wallet and things not be perfectly in line. Okay, so then I will just do a base stitch all the way down. I'm really only going to do this bottom one though. And that's it. And my needle survived. It didn't get bent at all. Way to go, Jess. Do the other side. Doo-doo. Oh, I'm moving my thing. Oopsie daisy. Okay. And that's that. So now we're gonna go get our card slot back cover. So the one that matches the height and width of this piece, you're gonna wanna attach those together so it creates a really nice ending. Get out of the... Oh, forget it. I'm having issues. Okay, let me go grab that piece. Okay, so I have that piece, the card slot back. We're gonna put them right sides together, and this is the moment of truth to know if you really did do it the right way. And what we're gonna do is we're only going to stitch the tops of the card slots, not the sides, not where you sewed that basting stitch. Okay, that's good enough. Okie dokie, let's do this. I'm just gonna do 1/4 of a seam allowance. Oh, my machine is just not liking me right now. I don't think it likes this fabric. This fabric's just a tad thin. That's why it's nice to have that woven interfacing. And a back stitch at the end. And you're gonna cut your ends of the thread. Okay, my thread better not break again, or Jessica's not going to be happy camper. Okay, we're good. Why this does this sometimes? Maybe because I don't hold my thread end. Okay, I don't know. Okay, and there we go. So now I'm gonna cut the ends. Show you how it looks once you flip it around. You see? Isn't that nice? So the next part I'm gonna do, which you could do on your own, is I'm gonna cut the ends. You see how this back piece is still kind of longer? I'm gonna make sure that it fits perfectly. Yeah, you might have just needed to pull this back, which I just did and it worked perfect. And I'm gonna serge my edge right here. You could just do just a straight stitch, but I'm gonna serge it just because I like the look. And you know, I'm a perfectionist. Okay, as you can see, I serged the sides of that and it's gonna work perfectly. So now I'm gonna get it in here and show you how it works. Try to center it with this part. And then what I do is I kind of look at this line, this stitch, and just make sure it goes in line with the twist lock. So then you just try not to poke yourself. I almost poked myself. Gotta take my own advice. Okay, before I pin the other one, I just see how it's going. So this side, I definitely need to tighten that up. You'll see what I mean. Ow! Goodness. Jessica, hurting yourself? Okay. Oh, poor grumpy old cat. He just looks so sad. Okie dokie. So, when you close it, oh, beautiful. Should be perfect right here. You see, there's no extra on the side. That's how it should look. And so now we're gonna stitch this part. We wanna stitch that on and cover our, like if you did a straight stitch or a serge on the edges. Let me just double check that one more time. Beautiful. Okay, so I start up here. Move that. And I just do 1/4 inch. All the way to the other. You see this stitch from when I top stitched around the whole wallet panel? We're just going to go to that stitch just because it looks good that way. And then we're going to clip. You see how it hit that? Isn't that nice? That's why, and I'm glad I do this, the serge, just because I feel like it makes me feel better. I don't know, I'm weird. Whatever. Okay. So then again, we want to go right where that top stitch was. And I've been sewing since I was 13, so it gets so much easier as you go along, as you learn different things. And I really enjoy sewing. It's like therapy for me. And it, you know, it feels good to create things for people. Kind of warms your heart. And it warms their heart too. So there you go. And this is how it should look. It should be beautiful and perfect. Okay, sorry, I'm weird. Okay, so next we're gonna do the zipper pocket that goes right here. Should be fun.